Hello, Internet! With the recent PS5 upgrades for Resident Evil 7, 2, and 3, I wanted to take a quick look at probably the biggest feature added, ray tracing. The focus on this video will be RE2 and 3 specifically. Let's start with RE2. Here the game is running on PS5 with ray tracing disabled. RE2 had pretty poor screen space reflections, and you can see here some of the visual oddities it introduces. The floor and parts of the wall look weird, like they're kind of moving or made of water. There's even a box around Claire herself that occludes the reflections. It's a pretty big blemish in an otherwise gorgeous game. Now when we turn ray tracing on, you can see all those little visual oddities go away, and the world looks a lot more consistent. The floor no longer looks like it's made of water, and there's no weird box around Claire. Everything just looks a lot more normal, and the reflections are a lot better too. So here's another cool example. You can see with the ray tracing turned off, it's just a generic fire effect to show the reflection on the ground. With ray tracing enabled, you can see a lot more detail, like the flames dancing in the reflection on both the ground and the wall next to Claire. Pretty cool. The mirror room is another cool example. With ray tracing turned off, I believe what we're looking at is a planar reflection. And the technique behind this is that the game is actually rendering the room twice, and you're really controlling two Claires, with one just having inverted controls to make it appear as a reflection. Honestly, I think both methods look great here, though I do feel the ray trace reflections offer a bit more clarity. Now here's where things get interesting. When you jump into the other room, you don't get any reflections without ray tracing, just the glare from Claire's flashlight. Now with ray tracing enabled, you do get reflections. Although being that this is supposed to be a two-way mirror for interrogations, we probably shouldn't have reflections here at all. But oh well, they look pretty cool. There's lots of little other cool things too. Like look at her reflection in the computer screen here. Or in this piece of metal. And the reflection in the doors of these cabinets looks particularly nice. Now let's move over to RE3, which has a lot more opportunities for ray traced reflections. Just look at the way Jill reflects in these posters here. Or in the steel of the subway train. This is really pretty cool. Or check out these reflections in the puddles here. Pretty rad. Or here with her reflections on the car. And look at this, even the fan blades show a diffuse reflection. So cool. Now one of the coolest parts is the derailed train. Look how her reflection distorts in the metal of the destroyed subway car. Honestly, I just love the way the reflection bends in the metal. It's so cool. And you can see with ray tracing turned off, it by no means looks bad, but I just feel like you lose so much of the immersion that the reflections bring. Now here in the lab at the end of the game, we've got ray tracing turned off, and you can see the screen space reflections living up to its name. The reflections disappear as soon as the source is off screen. Now with ray tracing on, you can see the reflections remain even when the source is occluded from view. Or how about this scene? You can really see what a difference ray tracing makes, especially on the wall here. In addition to ray tracing, let's take a moment just to appreciate how great RE3's music is. One last thing, let's take a look at loading. Now my PS4 version is running off an external drive, and the game doesn't take long to load regardless, but still, you can see just how much faster the PS5 is, loading a save in just under 2 seconds. So there you have it, a quick little look at the ray tracing in Resident Evil 2 and 3. I don't know why I'm so enamored with this technology, but I just think it's pretty cool. Anyway, thanks for checking out the video. Take care.